Is it?
I have no idea even what day. Okay, it's 2 p.m.
It's 2 p.m. That would be afternoon. Hi, Rachel. Tell us about yourself.
Absolutely not.
Well, I always think it's like really interesting and cool when we have like really unique panels like this because the two of you have never like done a panel together before.
Never
No.
met. Never met. Hi, Rachel.
No.
I'm Susan.
Hello,
What's your
George.
name? Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
So just to get started, what inspires you to select a role or to go for a role?
After you.
Well, what inspires me is you've got the job. That's pretty much it. I probably have never turned down anything. Rachel?
I heard George was in it, and like that guy.
That guy.
Going places.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the whole "you've got the job" part is really integral to my process. It just feels really good. Somebody says you get to go do this thing that you really like to do, and especially with VO when you can play roles that, no offense to me, but I would never get cast as in real life. That's the most fun. Don't worry, I didn't see that. That's okay. You're so cute. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
And what would you say as far as preparing for vocal work? Do you guys have any like particular warm-ups or things that you do before you record?
I do some. I actually do a lot of narration work just because it's something to sort of keep me busy, and it's grueling, and it's like 5 or 6 hours a day in my booth at home, and I was a singer when I was. I did a lot of musical theater when I was a teenager and in college and a little after, but I've found that. When you realize that your voice is a muscle and all the rest of it, you're supposed to warm it up and you baby it in the morning, and as the day progresses, like a muscle, it gets red and irritated, and then you ice it. So I start out with a little warm, and then as I get around noon, I start doing a little cool water and then cold water by the end of the day. That's my process. That's it.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
And
You're
you guys
welcome.
are probably like,
You're
yeah, I
welcome.
can tell. That's fine. Oh, do I have a process? No, there's just one silly hack. Like when you're recording, because it's so, the detail of the sound is so incredible, you can hear like if you've been, like it sounds gross, but eating too much dairy, or that's a thing. And you can like hear your mouth making the sounds. It's disgusting. Yeah. And so yeah, if you eat apples, it cuts the acidity.
Green apples are the best thing for your throat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It cuts through phlegm, refreshes, and tasty.
Yeah. I met somebody the other day who was just sort of making reels for himself, doing character voices on YouTube, and I was just wondering if that's a thing that people do that's kind of popular now. To like, yeah. I have one. Oh, that's
All
cool.
right. Great.
That's interesting.
Give us your best Doritos Crunch.
Oh yeah, please
Right
come. We have a microphone
Right here.
too.
Put a microphone on it right now. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a Doritos Crunch.
So, you're hired.
That's a Doritos Crunch. Sorry.
I think one of the coolest things about like being at these comic conventions is that you see people that are dressed up like some of your iconic roles. And also, I mean, I just have to also shout out Captain Planet, right? I mean, because
Captain Planet.
you're our
cool.
hero.
Look at that.
I want to know what that's like for you guys, to be wandering around the con floor, seeing people come up to your booths, and they're dressed up as roles that you've portrayed.
Rachel?
Super cool. Nobody here is doing that.
No.
I like them better than you guys. I'm just kidding.
I have like a litter like
I'm
leopard
kidding.
print, right? Like a little Josie and the Pussycats.
That's a little Josie and the
kind of,
Pussycats.
right? Like I don't
Sure.
have the ears though.
This works for me.
Sure.
Always.
I see a lot of Superman. I certainly see a lot of Superman people.
That's really
Babies, women, men, and some Sephiroth. I see some Sephiroth folks show up. Yeah, Sephiroth. And seen some big sword. What's the big sword that the? What's the name of it? Yeah, it's the. But how do you spell that? Buster? No. It's like really long. It's like a musho. It's like a Japanese name. Masamune. Yeah. It's cool. I've signed a couple of those, and I don't know how they get them home. It's literally like 8 feet long, but it's cool.
You have to like ship those, right?
Some.
There has to be some process.
Can't go to the airport with that thing.
It's a commitment.
One thing that I think is like amazing about these that I just wish that I had seen as a teenager was that I wish that I had known about conventions like this or that they had even existed.
They didn't exist, I don't think.
They didn't exist, but it's so amazing because nobody tells you that you don't really have to grow up, like, if you don't want to. Like, it is a little bit optional.
At least for a weekend.
Yeah, at least on the weekends, you know what I mean? Like, it's really cool that people still have their sense of play here. It's so valuable, and I love being around it. It's really inspiring.
Exactly.
So if you guys were given free reign to do any cosplay at the convention, who would you guys dress up as? It doesn't have to be one of your characters. It can be any character.
I am the Batman.
I like the oh God, I like the twins I saw the other day dressed up like the with the hats from the Hulu series. The
twins from the series.
The Hulu series about the women who are in the Handmaid's Tale. That's what I want to dress up as.
Under
I want to
his
wear
eye.
that thing. The sort of the dark side of the flying nun. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely dark.
Did I just reveal too much?
That'd be cool.
Okay. All right.
Also wondering, have you guys ever had maybe a very positive fan interaction that stands out to you, maybe above the rest?
It's really hard to say. I'm sure there's been many, but just like today, I met a guy, Ethan. Is Ethan here? Okay, I met this guy, Ethan. You know what? You'd know if Ethan was here. He's very high energy. He watched Josie and the Pussycats every day for a year. And he was just like, it's so nice to meet you. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, the last thing you need is more of this, you know? But I will never forget that, him, his dedication, and terrible ideas. Yeah. Anyway.
I had a woman yesterday, I don't know if she's here in the audience. Her husband, his favorite character is Sephiroth, and she came with to make it out to him, and he had just passed away like a month ago. I know, and I don't want to bring the room down, but I dedicated it to him, and it was very moving. I just felt like she was very happy and felt like he was there with her while it was sweet. That's definitely the best one I've had.
That's awesome.
done.
So if it's okay with you guys, we have a microphone that's set up right over yonder for whatever questions you may have. Like I said, they don't necessarily just have to be Final Fantasy VII related. Any questions that you may have about both of their careers, now is your opportunity to ask literally anything. And if not, I will ask the most
Literally
ridiculous questions you've ever heard. Okay.
Okay, I was wondering the kind of pressure you felt, because like the characters from Final Fantasy VII are obviously loved by a lot of people.
Yep.
Like the kind of pressure it was to be able to make them characters what they are in the movie. You know what I mean?
You feel like the responsibility of sort of living up to the
Yes.
to the pressure of people loving the franchise. I think it's. I didn't realize what Final Fantasy was when I first got this, and I think I was just like a last minute guy that came in to overdub the Japanese, but this was 15 years ago, and then it just kept going from a game to a movie and a game and a thing. But as about halfway through, I sort of realized how rabid the fans were and how big of a franchise it was. You know, so yeah. But I'm glad I didn't know that at the beginning. I probably would have been too nervous to do it. So. How about you, Rachel?
I kind of feel the same. I think that I had heard the title before, and I think I knew that it was a thing, but it was, it's a lot of pressure just when you have to go and directly feel like you're kind of duplicating or trying to be as good as another actor's performance. It's really weird.
Do you hear the Japanese guy before you?
Yeah.
And that's what was really cool. You hear, for me, you guys probably know the Japanese actor's name, but I would hear and I would have to go, Cloud, I will kill you. Like something, I have to match the timing exactly.
What it is,
and I was like, these sessions last like 4 or 5 hours, and I'm like, I go home and I'm like, what the hell happened to me today? Sort of kind of cold in the studio and dark, and this man is talking to me. It's really fun.
Thank you.
So funny. Yeah, exact same experience. I love it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
Good,
Awesome.
how are you?
Hi again. My question is, and you guys voiced so many of the characters and over the years. What was your favorite performance in the series? Which was your favorite role in the whole series, as voicing performance-wise, like in Crisis Core, Dirge Cerebus, such as things of that matter?
What's the name of the movies? The movie was
Advent Children?
Yeah,
Yes.
for me it was Advent Children because it was more connected. I could see the whole story put together. I was, felt like I could follow the narrative. When you do the games and you're doing a lot of dubbing, you don't really know I don't know what the hell's going on, honestly, because I'm also seeing partial animation. They do the voice then, and they do the animation of the voice. So I'm actually going back and doing ADR with an unfinished thing, and I don't know what the gameplay is about. But for me, it was the movie because I could see what was happening.
Okay.
Rachel?
Yeah, that was cool.
What he
And
said, yeah.
yeah, they really often did not have complete animation at all. The most fun aspect of playing Tifa to me was her interactions with Cloud and the deeply complicated nature of that relationship. I would love to sort of continue to follow that story to see what happens.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Hello again.
Hello.
Before I ask my question, I just want to say, Rachel Lee Cook, the role I know you best as is your role in the Nancy Drew movie from the early 2000s.
Get out of town. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you for that. And both of you, I would like to ask, what is a role or even something you did in a role that you feel is underrated or you would like to talk about more than you get the chance to?
That's a really cool question.
It is. Let me think about that. a role that we've done that you feel like that we love, but people didn't say, "Hey, that was great enough." I mean,
Yeah.
or I don't know.
Or
People
you don't get
didn't
a
see it.
chance to revisit it or like talk about why you love it as much.
Oh, okay.
Notoriety.
Oh, well, okay. It's a deep dive on that one. But
It's tough. It's like, what do you want to push? This is its big chance. you know?
golly. I did a TV movie. This is going to be really queer, but I did a TV movie when I first came to LA, and I was 22 years old, and I played a rock star and a nerd, and they switched places. It was called Double Switch. And Elizabeth Shue, that's where I met Elizabeth Shue, and I worked on that together. And then John McNamara, the guy who created Magicians and a lot of shows that you guys seen, he was his first writing job. And anyway, a lot of people saw it at the time now, but everybody's too old. So everyone's old here, so maybe they don't remember. But for me, it was so fun, and I got to be a rock star. But I don't know.
That sounds
It was appreciated at the
fantastic.
time, but it was just I got to play the Wiltern Theater. I had the whole theater stage, and wow, it's awesome. Anyway, go ahead.
I can't top that. I did a movie that almost nobody saw. That sounds dumb to say. My parents think it's great. It's true. And if you do see it, you'll find it weird that they think so, because there's some pretty spicy parts. It's a movie called 1114. Did anyone here see that? Thank you. 1114. It's called that because the director just felt like there was this phenomenon in his life where whenever he would look at the clock, it was either 11:14 a.m. or p.m., and now it happens to me. So now it's going to happen to all of you. It's like The Ring.
I always looking at 11:11. I always see 11:11.
Really?
Do you notice that? Anybody else see
11:11.
11:11?
I see 11:11. You got to make a
Yes.
wish at 11:11.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay.
So yeah, I love the movie 11:14. Patrick Swayze, the late great Patrick Swayze, played my father. Barbara Hershey was my mom. Hilary Swank's in it. Sean Hattasey, like Jason Segel. Incredible cast about a very strange confluence of events at exactly 11:14 p.m. one fateful night.
Thank you.
Check it out.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
What-
I got to totally. I'm gonna go rent
What's
that movie.
what's like the
It's pretty
genre
cool.
of this movie? Because it sounds like
It's a dark comedy, sort of suspense. Very dark. Cool. Yeah.
How's it going?
Good.
My name is Bobby. So when you're doing a lot of animation and voice acting, you'll probably have to do a line like 17 times or something like that. But how much of your voice acting has been spent screaming, like in action scenes? And when the director gave you tips back, like on the 17th try, you're like, what was that scream like then that you were like, okay, what am I not doing?
I have the other animated thing that I've done a lot of is Superman for the Justice League, and Superman does nothing but get electrocuted, and I don't know why.
Do it.
I don't know why. It's not fun, and it's really really hard to do. To scream is hard. I can't. I can sing. I grew up singing and stuff, but it's a different muscle. It's like your vocal cords are coming together, like they're banging together. And to extend the sound, some people are really good at it, like video game people who do a lot of video games, which I don't do, but they can do it. I'm bad at it. It hurts, and I hate it when they go, yeah, that was good. Let's try it again. And this time like you mean it. Oh.
Do you remember like
I'll show you what I mean. Yeah.
Do you remember like maybe how many times in a row you've ever had to scream like that?
Oh my God, at least 10, 15, 20 times, yeah. A lot of times they're smart about it. They'll save it to the end and make you do the really loud stuff at the end. But anyway, it still hurts.
That's true. I mean, luckily for us, the sessions can only be so long. They're not like, was it Stanley Kubrick? Is he famous for making people do things 250 times? Yeah. He not there. You know what I mean? Like, we get it done. You might have to scream. You might have to do 12 different screams, but you'll probably only do each one about 3-4 times in my experience.
I was going to say, if Stanley Kubrick was there, that would be a totally different Final Fantasy, wouldn't it? That would, woo!
Hey,
Greg.
Great to see you.
My question for you is, what's your favorite Justice League Unlimited episode?
What is it, what? Favorite Justice League episode? I think my favorite one was for the man who has everything, and it just he kicks Darkseid's ass. That's fun.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have a favorite?
My favorite one, when you fought Darkseid, Justice League Unlimited, and you get punched.
Oh, and they punch you, and that's a lot of times you see the punches, and I don't know if you've had to match when you're punching and getting hit. There's a difference between throwing the punch and taking the punch, and it's like it's out is like more of a, and then getting is it's more of a UNNNH, but it's hard to split the difference. I'm talking too much. Rachel, help! What am I doing?
No, you're
Absolutely not.
Sorry.
Felt that one.
I'm short.
You look great.
Thank you. Nice to see you again, Rachel. I
Good
saw
to
you
see you
yesterday.
again.
When it comes to either of your roles, like all the roles that both of you have done, is there one that stands out above the rest for you guys, whether it be VA or like your live action work?
Rachel.
Well, I mean, it's so, like, people, when they say, like, what's your favorite thing that you've done, like, it always breaks down to what was the most fun thing to do, what was the character that I was most psyched to get cast as, despite the odds, where did I make the most friends, what was the best location. I find it impossible to this day, after 25 or so years in the game, to really pick. But a really fun thing has been just sort of brewing in the last couple years with Josie and the Pussycats for me. It's just that people are really rediscovering it on another level and another level and another level. And it's just been really fun to sort of get that vindication like 20 years later.
You're right. That's awesome.
Thanks.
I'm burping. There we go. Sorry.
Copyrighted.
Yeah, I did. Oh, what the hell did I eat? I think for me, it's pretty rare to get a part that it's a good part, that the people are nice, and it gets seen, and you make some money. And that's a really rare combination. And the last one I had, I got to be on work on the show on ABC called Scandal, and I got to play an assassin who's like kind of had some really quirky, fun things to do.
That's awesome.
And it was like great. I got to be on a show that was like became a hit. I got to be on it while it, So that to me is a really special. Probably will never happen again. It's really rare.
What I mean? You never get 3 of those things.
No, you never get it all happening together. But so for me, that was really special. And at the time, I knew it. I was like, man, this doesn't happen. We know this. Enjoy this. Enjoy this.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Your water, Sarah.
Thanks.
Really awesome to meet you guys, by the way.
Thank
My
you.
name's Sterling. before I ask my question, your voice portrayal as Sephiroth got me through my emo phase. Like, it just made it higher for me.
Okay,
so,
okay,
yeah,
good,
it was good.
You need.
I grew out of
you
it,
need
of course,
more emo
but
in your
still.
life. Right.
Do you hear that a
I
lot?
will never be a memory emo.
I would literally quote that in middle school, and I got so many looks for it. Trust me on
Good
that
to
one.
see you, Cloud emo.
How are you doing this?
I don't know. Stop it. Stop it.
My question is, well, it's kind of like a two-parter, but it's not like. Are you guys big on like YouTubers and stuff like that? Have you ever heard of the YouTube team called Team 4-Star by any chance?
What's it called?
Team 4-Star.
Team 4-Star. I don't think so.
I don't know, but
my
if it's
son
a
knows.
game,
My
it
son
sounds
knows
like
all that
you
stuff.
want
If you ever get a chance, there are a bunch of voice actors. They do Dragon Ball Z Abridged, stuff like that, Hellsing Ultimate. Their latest one, they played the original Final Fantasy VII, like the PS1 game, and they dubbed over all the lines in their own portrayal, and they have you, Tifa.
They owe us money.
Yeah. What the hell? I don't like where this is going.
No, they
Grievance.
they have a disclaimer before every video saying this is under Square Soft, Square Enix, and all the product is a non-profit fan-based parody. So, but because they do a portrayal of Sephiroth and they do Tifa, Yuffie, everyone. But the funny part is if you go into it, they do their stereotypical stuff you see though. So if you see a Yuffie, like Yuffie's in it, it's just loud, obnoxious singing and a lot of stealing ninja quotes, stuff like that. Or if it's Tifa, it's her hitting Cloud in the face over and over again. So I didn't know. I thought if you didn't know, I might have just enlightened you
I'd like
on
to
that.
see
I'd like to
that.
see that. Yeah.
Because they're currently 2 seasons in. They do each disc like a season. So I thought I'd just enlighten y'all to that maybe. But thank you.
Thank you so much.
Somebody, if you have easy access to that, tag us on it so we can check it out.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be great. Too much work. No,
What's Machina? What?
just kidding.
Oh, machine. Oh, got it. Okay. Okay, got it.
No, you don't.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Sorry. Very nice. Anyway. Okay. TFS Final Fantasy. Okay, cool. There'll be a test at the end. Thank you. Hi.
Hello, my name's
Hey.
Philip. So my question was, I wanted to know if there was. Sorry.
I have a drinking problem. I have a drinking problem. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry for my friend's behavior.
When doing VO for Final Fantasy Curtis, was there anything particular that you really enjoyed in the script compared to live action, or like something that made you thought, oh, that's really awesome. I wish I could do that more. Like with those.
I
video
like
game
being able to
characters.
fly in my game, which I would love to be able to do in real life, but I can't. Rachel?
Again, I can't top that. I like the ridiculous nature of just playing the quality of voice that I get to do for her. There's a rule in acting that you're not supposed to ever speak off the voice. It means that you're doing the thing that you're not supposed to be doing. And it's one school, but it's a pretty big thing. But for this, that I get to just talk like this, Cloud, you must not go there. You know what I mean? Just like the whole time. It's like if I acted like that, people would be like, go home. Like, whatever. But I love that. I love that I can get away with it there.
There's like that's what's great about anime. The English dub over of anime. There's something like innocent and like cool about it. It's like enthusiastic and innocent and a little off, a little stilted and awkward. That makes it so I think engaging. What makes it cool.
And it's fun to do.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
Really quick, so you just mentioned that you would like the ability to fly. So if
Yes.
you did have a superhuman ability, is that what?
That would be it. I would love to be able to fly. I'd love to be able to fly.
What
Honestly.
about you, Rachel?
What do they say? Like extroverts want to be able to fly, introverts ask for invisibility.
Is that right?
Has anyone else heard that?
I've never heard that.
I've
but
never
it
heard that,
kinda-
but it sounds right.
It makes sense.
Show of hands for invisibility, which seems a little counterintuitive. Am I right?
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Anyway,
Cool. That's
thanks.
There we go. We're learning things.
Woof.
Hey, so you actually said the line I wanted you to say, so I appreciate that.
Which one?
I'll never be a memory.
Oh, I'll never be a memory. Yes.
That's great. But I was wondering, have you guys ever just, gotten a role, you're just trying to get some work, you're not really doing anything, and then you get it, and you're like,
Every day.
Tomorrow.
holy crap, this
Every
is
day after.
really interesting, and then you just like, get kind of like headlong and become kind of a fan of the work yourselves?
Wait, what?
Do you ever like have sort of nothing going on and then you get something like finally and you're just like, this is awesome. I'm a fan of me. Basically.
Oh, yes. Man, I'm amazing that I stuck it out and I got this part. No.
Is that what you meant?
Well, kind of like the fan of the property, you know. It's just
just like of the thing that you're on, like you were saying about Scandal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if it's good, if it's bad, you just kind of pretend it's not happening. But you know, probably half the work that I've gotten to do, I've enjoyed and thought was good, and the other half I could just say like, it's a job, and I just kind of hope no one sees it, and then check clears hopefully. but yeah.
Yeah, but do you fan out about something? Like anything, like a little bit?
You know, Justice League for me was I grew up reading comic books, you know, at camp on my bunk. I was a nerd, and I was like, looking at Super Friends and all the rest of it. So that for me was kind of cool. And I also did a movie with Chris Reeve when he just finished doing Superman. When I first came to LA, I was like 24 or 5, and I did a movie with him, and I was like, oh my God, you're Superman. Right? Does that bug you? And we would I spent like 4 months with the guy. And he said, no, it's good to be known for something. And
what movie was that?
it was called Switching Channels. It was Kathleen Turner and Burt Reynolds, and you know, it wasn't that good of a movie, honestly. But I'll tell you a funny Chris Reeve story. You want to hear a funny Chris Reeve story? It's not that funny. But we were downtown Chicago shooting, and Chris Reeve, we were all trying to get a place to eat that wasn't on the set because you get sick of the set food. It starts tasting like plastic. And this great restaurant right near the set was public and crowded. And I said, God, we'd love to be able to go there. And Chris goes, I got this. It's like, man, it's so crowded. We're not going to get in. You know, I'm in a sense. He's like, I'm Superman. Watch. And he goes over to the podium, and the other guy and I were standing there, like, kind of watching. And we have only 30 minutes to eat and to get back to work. And I see him lean over to the hostess and say, can we get a table? You know, Chris Reeve, blah, blah. And I see her look at him and kind of go like again, and she looks down and she goes, says something to him, and he comes back. He goes, it's going to be 45 minutes. I was like, man, he did not come through for me. Superman, you suck, dude. So,
that was like an M. Night Shyamalan twist. I was thinking he was going to get right in.
That was great. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't know, how did that even come up?
I don't care. I love it.
Howdy. Love that you all are working and staying employed and keep working.
Thank you.
To,
just knock on something. Oh my God.
Right. To tag on to that first question, I understand that that next gig, right? Which brings me, I guess, to my question is working on pet projects, any kind of creative production. Are you all doing anything right now, or what would you all like to work on next?
I'm trying to get it into adult films. I don't know if I can kind of make that happen. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a terrible joke. No. But yeah, I mean, I spend 99% of my work trying to get work. So right now I'm not working on something, but I have meetings next week. So maybe who knows?
Yeah, that's the part of our job that really feels like a job is the getting of the job.
Being ready to get the job and showing up and having a good attitude and making sure you learn. I mean, I have something on Monday. It's like 9 pages of dialogue, and I've been here the whole time. I go back to the hotel room, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to learn this.
Do you have the Line Learner app?
Do what?
Do you have the app?
I have the rehearsal
Line Learner?
app. Do you have the rehearsal?
I use Line Learner, but I bet
Line
rehearsal's
Learner?
better.
Oh, okay. No, not really. There's a good 2 apps called Line Learner and Rehearsal app, and it'll scroll through your material. You can upload it and you can highlight it and stuff like that. So, but to answer your question, I don't have a job. This is it, and I don't know what you're doing, but you probably have a lot. Yeah, probably everyone always
I'm
has
developing a lot recently. The Hallmark Channel's really given me a great opportunity to be able to do that. That network employs more women and more women who are grown-ups, shall we say, with more regularity than any other one, and they've been incredibly good to me. So I work there quite a bit, and yeah, I'm really happy in the romantic comedy space for right now. So that's where I'll be if anyone needs me. Thanks.
Just a goofball question. What is your favorite soup?
God bless you, sir.
What did you say? What did you say?
Favorite soup.
What's your favorite soup?
Well, is it winter in this scenario?
Yes, it is winter.
If it's winter,
it is cold as ice.
It's cold as ice. What's your favorite?
Let me see. If it's winter, I'd go with like a nice, like a curried, not like a
nice
curried
curry thing, a
pumpkin,
nice delicious
spice kind of like squash kind of moment. Sounds good.
I like a sweet and
can't
sour
say
cabbage.
tomato.
Like a Hungarian kind of like a sweet and sour. You put a little sour cream in it when it's cold outside. A little delicious. You don't like it. You're not. You're not there.
No,
You're not, okay.
I went on the journey with you. At first,
Yeah,
I wasn't sure, but we're there now.
You're soup judging me, aren't you? You're soup judging me. Stop
What is
it.
your favorite soup, sir?
Soup shaming. It's soup shaming.
Borscht.
Yeah. Borscht.
Borscht?
Yeah. Borscht is delicious.
Really?
Oh,
Borscht
so
is
good.
excellent.
Best.
I'm a matzo ball girl myself. Just saying.
Yes, thank you.
I feel like the soup question. Yeah, you just inspired a lot more questions. Good for you.
You
Sir.
probably asked
They
your
heard soup and everyone
question.
jumped up. Yeah.
Everyone's like, "What's your favorite pizza?" We have
Everyone
about
else
10
just
minutes
sits
left.
down.
Just letting you guys know. 10 minutes.
Hello. All right, so my family is going to cosplay Final Fantasy next year, and I'm going to do Tifa. And my son, I'm hoping to convince him to do Sephiroth.
Awesome.
So my question is, what advice would you give me to best capture Tifa as a cosplayer?
Well, first of all, you're going to look amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
you're-
working out. I have to work
seriously.
on my boxing.
Yeah, you got this. Do you have a pet that you could dress as Cloud? Because I think that would really bring it home for you.
My son's
you
going
go.
to do Cloud.
Oh, good.
I have two sons. So I have one son who's going to do Cloud, and the other one, his favorite character is Sephiroth.
Cool.
What did I'd have to think about it. You know what I mean? All I would say is make sure you get really great photos taken because that's going to be an incredible experience for your
Yes.
family. And then please tag me so I can see them when you do.
Oh,
And
cool.
for you, for my son being Sephiroth.
I get a good wig, get a good white wig, I guess, and a long coat. Right? Practice your deep voice as much as you can.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Good to see you, Cloud. Yes.
Have you guys ever like cosplayed as a family before, or is that going to be your first family?
We've done many. We did Soul Eater last year. We did Flash the year before that.
Oh, that's so cool.
So next year we're doing Final Fantasy.
Awesome. You guys are so, I love the effort, man. It's so cool.
I hope that's the holiday card. It's a holiday card I would enjoy getting.
Merry Christmas from Final.
It was mentioned earlier, stuff like this wasn't really, well, it didn't happen like before, where fans had the chance to actually like meet the people they were, crazy about. But do you ever get tired of people bringing up the stuff that you did like back in the day rather than what you're doing now?
Not me. It's like a nice warm hug. It's nice.
Yeah, I definitely embrace it. There are times when I feel like I'm not moving forward or something as far as I'd like to in my career. Sometimes it's hard to feel like you're just one thing to people. Like, long story short, I'll start in the middle. I was at an MC Hammer concert, and in Miami. And it's a random story. I was doing a quick job, like real nearby, and then I saw the banner that said MC Hammer. I was like, obviously, we're going here. And the guy next to me, after 2 songs, just goes, "Play the song." And it was so depressing. And I was just like, sometimes I do feel a little bit like people are like, "Play the song." And that's a little bit hard. But other
What
than that,
what do you mean? Like give us the
my
thing
son-
that we know you for or whatever.
Well,
Did the-
like, they're like, "She's all that," or like that kind of a thing where I started, and like, it's just that's just a numbers game. You know what I mean? Like did I just touch it? I love that movie, but it is a little bit weird to just be sort of known for something that you feel like, was I even that good in that? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
So then in that sense, it's hard, but I don't know. The future's good. Thank you.
Hello. My question is for Kingdom Hearts related. Were you upset, just like us, that Final Fantasy wasn't a part of that?
You mean
In the last one,
yes, and in the Final 7 remake, they recast all the voices. So I'm not happy about it, to be honest with you. I wish I could be happy for the guys playing Sephiroth, but I'm not really.
My whole goal
Be
in
honest with
Kingdom
you.
Hearts is to
No,
literally
he'll be.
go back.
He's a nice guy.
You should
I'm
send
sure.
him
I
a
don't know
message
him.
in the
But
Sephiroth
no, I'm sure
voice.
he's a nice guy. But I'm kind of bummed. I'm kind of bummed about it.
Because my whole entire
Bring
goal
him
in it
back.
is to go back and to finally beat Sephiroth, because it takes forever to level
That's what
up
I hear.
to get
I can't play
to
video
him.
games. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I hear it's really difficult though to beat Sephiroth. I've heard.
He's literally the
Yeah.
hardest person to beat
Yeah.
in the whole entire game.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so difficult. Yeah. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. Or maybe that's why you're still alive. So tough.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So we would actually have time for one more question if we have anyone that wants to ask the final question. Okay, if you guys both want to come down, we'll make it quick. And then if it's okay with you, after they ask their questions, we're going to take a big group photo, if that's okay. All right. Okay, group photo.
So I don't know if you guys actually watch a lot of TV or if you have favorite shows. And obviously, as fans, sometimes we're critical or overcritical. But what was your opinion of season 8 of Game of Thrones? And I definitely think that whatever you guys say is the truth, and I will respect it a lot.
Okay, I'm going to disappoint you right at the gate. I didn't follow Game of Thrones. However, just let me. I did do George R.R. Martin's last TV pilot, right before he did Game of Thrones, which is called Doorways.
Sweet.
The science fiction. It was a 2-hour pilot for ABC that didn't get picked up, and it was great too. It was amazing. God, I was good in that. And so he was so upset. He went back to New Mexico and he started writing Game of Thrones, and that was it. Yep, that's my notoriety. Yeah, I don't know about Game of Thrones, but I hear people didn't like the ending, I guess, or something, which sounds impossible to please people, honestly. I mean, right? It's complicated. How do you wrap that up? Okay,
It was
right?
rushed.
But
Did you hear that there is like a crowdfunding effort for people going, nope, do over. Do the whole thing over. We will pay for it. That was so bad.
really.
That's harsh.
Yeah,
That's
I
so
don't know.
harsh.
I liked it.
What do you think?
Well, so my brother and I, we own the same type of wolf that they use in the movie or the
Yeah.
shows. We breed and own those types. And what I had described to people is some people had invested 8 years and maybe a career into this, and then they were disappointed later. And there you go. But we still love our animals. And whatever. I'm part of the do-over crowd.
Well, it's difficult because they passed the books. You know, it's like, what do you?
Should we take a poll for like people that liked season 8? Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
Wow.
that.
Oof. Wow, that's harsh.
Okay, cool. Well, let's end on a positive note, hopefully. Let's see. What you got? Final question.
I'm going to throw a double whammy at you guys, actually. To kind of go back to what you said, actually, about the whole thing of the extrovert-introvert situation of the flying and the invisibility and everything. Besides those two, going out there, just way out there for thought, what other superpower would you possibly have? And then my other question is, favorite comic book character of all time, even even the really old ones, before Captain Marvel was really, Shazam and all that kind of scenario. So,
First thing, other superpower.
you don't actually have to answer both questions, one or the other. Just take your pick.
I know. I wish I could speak every language. How cool would that be?
That would be so cool.
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
I think I'd like to be a mind reader if I could be. My wife is, I'll tell you that. And that sucks for me. Really sucks. Comic characters, I grew up reading Mad Magazine. I loved Alfred E. Newman. I loved those like Cracked and Mad Magazine. They're not superheroes, but they were funny.
Isn't that ending?
Is your egg timer go off? Is the egg ready? Sorry. Sorry.
Isn't Mad Magazine ending? Is that what am I making this up? Mad Magazine's yeah.
Oh yeah, it's over. Yeah, I think they're retiring the whole franchise. I know. Totally an end of an era.
Oh, I don't know. Who's yours? Because I know you asked this for a reason. I think we want to know.
Actually, I don't know if I should really answer that question. Actually, can I ask the audience a question first?
You have to answer. Who's your favorite superhero?
But there's the problem to that.
What's the problem?
It's kind of like the situation of like, I've read various comic books and everything, and it's like you kind of have that situation of DC versus Marvel kind of situation, and to answer that question, I would have to answer two questions really in that saying. All right, all right. First of all, my favorite Marvel character is Wolverine.
I mean, come on, admit superhuman ability
good.
of
He's good.
super healing, and he's a badass. My favorite DC character is Nightwing.
Oh, I like that. Very good. That's good. That was a good, balanced answer. I like it.
See, I like Hellboy, so it's neither Disney nor Marvel. Okay, so
Thank you, guys.
on that note, any final thoughts you guys want to leave us with?
We want to apologize for not knowing enough about this game that you came here to talk about.
No, we would know more about
just-
Final Fantasy if we were better game players, but we're not
worst.
good game players. But
So,
but
I
we're
think
grateful
this-
for you guys. Thank
We're
you
really
so much for
grateful.
supporting
and this
us.
might be the last time we do something like this. Now that we're, they've moved
We're gonna
on
keep
a little
we're gonna
bit.
keep doing it some more.
We'll
We're gonna figure
keep
out how
singing
to.
the song.
We'll work.
But thank you guys for liking our work in
Yes.
these games and movies. Like truly,
Thank you.
It's really awesome
Yep.
to meet you.
Excellent.